Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to Tanya Outside In, Perek Lamed Vav, Part Bays, Part 2. Okay, so we made a dent in this chapter, which is the middle of the three chapters 35, 36, 37, which is all about Dir B'tachtoinim. Up until chapter 26, so from chapter 1 to 25, he basically explains who the Benoni is, what the other kinds of Yidden are, what the fight is, how to do the fight, and then from or how to win the fight, or just how to fight, and then, but probably better say to how to play the game. That's a nice way of saying it. So from chapters 1 to 25, the Rebbe is teaching us how to play the game. From chapters 26 to 34, his teachers teaching us about the Ikka Ikuv to playing the game, the Ikka impediment to playing the game, yeah, which is a lack of simcha. You have to have energy in your avodas Hashem. There is no option. Simcha is energy. You have to have an open heart. There has to be free flowing emotion to serve God. Okay. Once the Rebbe finished with his treatment of simcha, yeah, then he changed gears and now he's answering the question, why? So he answered first, what is the game, how to play the game. Not really what is the game, like what kind of the rules of the game. Then he spoke about the potential pitfalls that you have to avoid in the game. And only now, or last chapter 35, does he begin explaining what is the game, what is this about? And he tells us the point of creation is Dir B'tachtoinim, that Hashem wanted unreasonable, for some unreasonable reason, yeah, well, not a reason, for something that wasn't reasonable, he wants a Dir B'tachtoinim, meaning he wanted to create a world where there was such a being as a human being with an ego, who claims himself to be God, who thinks of himself as an independent creature, who has the ability to deny the reality of the Creator. That's what Hashem wanted. So like that's amazing. He wanted that so that he could go into that place. That's his. You've just learned something about God. You've learned something truly deep about God. I can't say much more than what I've just said, but that is something you've just learned about God. You just got a lot closer to the Ribbono Shel Olam. You learned about him. He wants a very he wants an opposite place where he can then go into. So what does that tell you about God? I always think it tells you that he loves yichud. He loves oneness. And for him, because he's the ultimate, he wants the ultimate oneness, which is the oneness of the highest and the lowest, of the infinite and the finite, of the creator and the creation, of light and dark, of black and white, of Toiv and Ra. That's what he wants. He wants his good. That's what he wants. So what do you learn about him from that? That's an amazing thing. It's like everyone has kids here, yeah? Tell me if this you don't agree with this. Watching your kids fight is literally the worst thing in the whole world. I I hate it. And everybody else I know who has children just hates it. Why? Why is it so hard to see your kids not liking each other or fighting each other or cursing each other out, whatever it is, annoying each other? It's a lack of yichud in a place where there should be yichud. It's like so foundational in our kishkas, this need for unity, this not a need for it's not a need for unity, it's it's there's a unity that when that unity doesn't express itself properly, it it it's it's uncomfortable. So that's really one of the few things we know about God in that sense. Like that's his not one of the few things, that's like his ultimate thing that he wants a dir b'tachtoinim. Why is it tachtoinim? Why does the Tanya not say, or why did the Medrash not say dir b'tachtoin? Why tachtoinim? Tachtoin also means the below. Why the below worlds? Because that's the place he wants to go into the Riboy. He is the Echad, Hashem Echad. But he wants to go into the Tachtoinim, into the lowest realms, which is by definition the plural. He wants the plurality of reality, the multiplicity of reality to declare his oneness. He wants the multiplicity of reality to declare oneness. That's amazing. That's our creator. That's who we're working for. That's who we worship. That's who we have a relationship with. That's who took us out of Mitzrayim. That's who we're going to be telling our kids in a couple of days all about. And how he, for some unknown reason, I mean, the reason that he loves us is think about this. What does it mean that he loves us because of the avos? Yeah. What makes somebody so special is the avos. Imagine if some, you know, some wealthy guy of your grandfather, some wealthy, powerful guy of your grandfather who was deeply, loved your grandfather deeply, and he said to your grandfather, I'm gonna take care of your grandkid, whoever it is." Michael, you talking to me? Oh, he's not saying this. So imagine what does that actually say? It's interesting because if he loves you because of your grandfather, what does that say about you? It's a funny thing, isn't it? To love somebody because of their parent. It's got nothing to do with you. That love is an intrinsic love now. Whether you're good or bad, it's not that you earn the love. It's a very it's a very strange idea that you will show favor, yeah, look after someone's kids because they're someone's kids. It's when you think about it. Because what does it mean now about the kid? That's what Am Yisrael is. That's why it's an unreasonable love, an unreasonable relationship. It's not based on reason. It's based on avos. It's based on our fathers. That's really an amazing thing to think about. So I was saying to my dad was like, I said, look, you have to be crazy. Look at this war. Look how many bombs they're firing over at us and how many Yidden are being killed. It's like it's amazing how few people are being hurt, and so you have to be mad to not recognize the Yad Hashem in this. And he said, "Yeah, but look at how it's the secular state, and they and he went off a little bit on how why would God why is he showing such favor to us?" And I said, "Listen, secular Jews, they just annoy also religious people who aren't they just annoy God more." But they're still his kid. They're still his firstborn children. They're still, you can't, it's just, you just have to behave, pull yourself together and start behaving. It just causes him more agmas nefesh. It doesn't mean he's not going to look after you, take care of you. Might be at one point he'll have to, I don't know what he'll have to do. But especially if somebody else is coming after you, yeah, then it's not, again, it's not on your merits. It's on the merits of of where we're from, of who we are, not of what we do, which is quite an amazing idea. So that is Dir B'Tachtoinim is Hashem's, we call it a taiva. Remember the definition of a taiva is if you can
Pleasure.
answer why, it's not a taiva. if for example, I'll say to you, why are you earning money? And you'll be like, well, I got to buy myself some chocolate. Why do you want chocolate? Because I like the sweet taste. Why do you like the sweet taste? Because it gives me pleasure. Why do you like pleasure? That's a tither. That's just who I am. Why do you like pleasure? Stupid question is that? Why do you like pleasure? Why do you not like pain? What a silly question is that? Like ask it, ask somebody walking around the street, why do you like pleasure? Why do you not like pain? All they can say is I like pleasure because it's pleasurable. I don't like pain because it hurts. Why do you not like hurts? I don't know. Just don't like it. So that's Hashem's taiva for dir b'tachtonim. That's a taiva for dir b'tachtonim. Why? There's no why. That's just who I am, says the Bon Sholem. I'm some kind of unity junkie. I love unification. I love oneness, is what he'd say to you, maybe. Why do you love oneness? I don't know. Who I am. Shem Echad. You say it every day, no? Okay, so that's the introduction, and the Dir B'Tachtonim is the lowest place in the Tachtoin is the ego of the human being who is able to deny the reality of the Creator. That's the ultimate opposite of God is to declare yourself God, and that's what we're doing when we say um, when we think of ourselves as an end unto ourselves, that is what God is. God is an end unto himself. That is what a God is. When you make an end of your pleasure unto itself, you have introduced a foreign God into your life. When you make an end of money, when money becomes an end unto itself, and they say and then somebody says to you, why are you collecting so much money? Like why are you saving so much money? Why do you love money? They'll be like, I just love money. Just love looking at the I love looking on my screen and seeing that, you know, that figure just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I love that. Yeah. Then now you've turned that into a god. That's a god. If anything is an end unto itself, that's called a god. That's called Elohim Acherim. Everything is a means to an end. Everything is a means to service of Hashem. That's why we say Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. See, Hashem, we don't say Hashem Acherim, Chas v'sholom. There's just thing as you never say Hashem in plural, and you never say it. There's no, but you say Elohim Acherim. Yeah, you can have lots of Elohim. Yeah, Rahman al. So we say Hashem Elokeinu. Our God Elokeinu, yeah, or Elohim Acherim. You could make Elohim Acherim out of the football, whatever the American football thing, the out of your American football team. You can make Elohim Acherim out of your thing for Japanese bonsai trees and funny gardening stuff. Yeah, out of your company, out of your stomach, yeah, out of your kids, out of your shul, out of your community, out of your backache. You can make Elohim Achim out of every single thing there is, yeah? So we say Hashem Elokeinu. Hashem, you're our God. That's what it's saying. You're the one we worship. You're the end. You're our end. Hashem Elokeinu. We don't have any Elohim Acherim. I don't worship my car. I don't worship my bank account. I don't even worship helping people. I worship you. And if you say to me that I'm not allowed to help someone, then I won't help them. And that's my worship for you. That's Hashem Elokeinu. And then we say Hashem Echad. That Hashem that is Elokeinu Hu Echad. That's the oneness of reality. Yeah, that is the ultimate statement of monotheism. Yeah, not that there aren't any other gods, that I don't make any other gods. I do not have any other gods. There is only one end, and that is you, Ribono Shel Olam. Shema Yisrael, and it's Shema. What does Shema mean? Shema means get it into your kishkas, not ru'eh. Yeah, ru'u, ru'ah. Don't not see. Seeing doesn't get something into your kishkas. Shema gets it into you. So it's Shema Yisrael. Yisrael, get this into you. Hashem Elokeinu. Hashem is your God. Yeah, not anything else. Nothing else. Yeah, not any political movement, not any religious movement, not any material thing, nothing. Yeah, no pleasure, nothing. Yeah, Hashem Echad, that's reality. So Hashem wants to come down into the Elohim Acherim, into the ego of the human being. And that is the job of Yisrael. That's why we keep talking about Avoid Lishma. See, Avoid Lishma is the level where we finally offered the ultimate offering to the Ribono Shel Olam, which is the Nefesh Bahamis. And just as a side point, that's what's written on a lot of the front of a lot of the Best Ever books. Ha'esh Sheli Toiked Ad Bias Mashiach. Yeah, you've seen that on front of the Best Ever books? There's like a little picture of a flame. It says Ha'esh Sheli in the flame, and then underneath it says Ha'esh Sheli Toiked Ad Bias Mashiach. Yeah, that is a 6-word summary of the entire Sefer Tanya on the front of all the Best Ever Sfarim. I love it. Yeah, what does it mean? Ha'esh Sheli Tukad Ad Bias Mashiach, which the Pasha translation is my fire, says Rabbi Nachman, will burn until the days of until Mashiach comes. You could read it like this: Ha'esh Sheli, the Aish of Sheli, the Aish of the ego. Sheli is mine. That's all about me. So the Aish Sheli, the Aish of the ego, is tukad. Is not just that doesn't mean just burn. It means to burn on the mizbeach. It means to be offered, burned and offered up to Hashem. Yeah, ad bias Mashiach. That is what we offer until Bias Mashiach. When Mashiach comes, that avoider will be finished. The ego would have been transformed into light, and we will be there with the Ribono Shel Olam, as opposed to with ourselves, as we are right now. I wrote this song on Pesach. Did you hear that song I put out last year on Pesach? The in the chorus it said Egypt was it was voices saying that you're alone. That's what Egypt is. A voice inside saying that you're alone. That's Mamash Mitzrayim. Saying that you're alone, meaning you're exclusive, miyuchad. Yeah? That's what it means to feel alone. It means to feel miyuchad. Echad yochid miyuchad. That's one of the ways we describe Hashem, miyuchad, meaning exclusive. There's only him. When a person feels alone, yeah, which most of us do in this generation, yeah, that is a feeling of Elohus, of treif. That's what Klippa is. That's the ultimate level of Klippa, is feeling that you are Elohim. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's what we're here to offer to the Ribono Shel Olam. That's Dafka Pesach, mamash. That's Dafka Pesach. Being released from that, being released from that prison of aloneness. That's what Klippa is. Klippa says, I'm alone. Yeah, Kedusha says, I'm with you, Hashem. We're together. That's the difference between Klippa and Klippa separates everything from everything else. Okay, bottom of page 90, Perek Lamed Vav. First one line is Va'afsi Oid. V'hinei, Tachlis Ishtaushlis Oilamas, V'yidasam Medrega Medrega, Eina B'shvil Oilamas Elyoinim, that the downward, the point of the purpose of the whole Hishtaushlis of creation that goes from a high place to a lower place, yeah, of all the worlds and they're going down from level to level is not for the sake of the higher worlds. Let me read them or Panav Yisbrach, because for the higher worlds, they've come down, it's a Yerida for them. Ella Tachlis who Oilam Hazer Tachtoin. The point of that entire chain of down of levels going down was for this final lowest world. Shakach Olet, which is the world Male Klipas V'Sitrach, which is the world in which you can deny the Rabboni Shloim. There could have been a world that's lower than this world. What would be the world? Can you think about that? What would be the world that could be lower than the world where you could deny the Creator? But there was no point to making this world, so Hashem didn't make it.
Where you wouldn't even know there's a creator?
Yeah, where you couldn't know. Where you couldn't know. Yeah, that's not that wasn't part of the game plan. That there was no point to creating that.
Does that exist?
No, no, he didn't do that. According to my Rebbe, that he could have created a world where you couldn't know him. He created a world where by default you don't know him, and if you work hard and you've got a bit of courage and a bit of humility, you can grow to know him deeply. Yeah, that made sense. But to go to a level where you couldn't know him, then he wouldn't be able to fulfill his purpose. So I mean, it's just a kind of conjecture, but it's theoretical, but it's a nice way of it brings out a point. Okay, the purpose of the whole thing is the lowest world. Because it went up in his rotzoin, that it should be a nachas ruach for him, before him, Mizbuach. Kad iskafia sitra achra. When the sitra achra is subdued, this hafcha, and when it is transformed, hashucha lenoira, he's really telling us now about the Rebbeinu Shalom. Listen very carefully. This is a big tzaddik telling us about the Creator Mamash. I know, Michael, you have to jump out, yeah. That it brings a nachas ruach, kadiskafia sitra achor, when the sitra achor is like subdued, like kind of dominated, yeah. This hafcha shucha noira, and darkness is transformed into light. Sheyir or Hashem ein sof baruch hu b'makam choshech, that the awe of Hashem, the ein sof baruch hu. He doesn't say the or Ein Sof, the or Hashem Ein Sof Baruch Hu, yeah, will be meir, will illuminate b'makam choshech, in the place of the choshech, v'asitra achra shel kol olam hazeh kulu, yeah, in this entire world, b'yesa says yesa ois, with more intensity and more power, v'yisan or min choshech, and there'll be an advantage of the light from the darkness. Mahurasoi ba'olamas elyonim shemeir sham alidei levushim v'hest upanim hamastirim u'ma'alimim or ein zebohu shelo yibatlu b'metzias. That there will be an advantage to this light from the light that comes from the darkness. But Elamas Elyonim, it will be more bright than the light in the Elamas Elyonim. That it illuminates there through Levushim has the Panim and Mastirim and Alimois and Mohu, Shei Badim Matzias. That you have to run? Run. Okay, Chazak V'yamatz. Frenach and Pesach. That the it's because of the Hester in this world that we will be able to have an experience of the essence of the Creator. In the higher worlds, when Hashem will reveal his essence, they will immediately collapse. They will collapse into him. But in this world, he'll be able to reveal his essence. Okay, we're going to talk about that a lot more right now. He just introduced the subject, but that's we'll talk about that more
Well, that's
before.
what you were saying earlier about like how can you not see all these rockets and people don't like if you can see him, but slowly you could see it sounds like you were kind of saying something like that.
Not really. Um, that's seeing his actions. Um, we don't know what it means to see his essence. I mean, you can't see essence as well, but to know that not that he's here with us, but to know that we're here with him. To understand deeply, not to understand it, it's I don't know what it means to experience it and to know it. I don't know what it means to see it, but that him himself, not anything that he does, not his actions, but him himself. Like you don't like you can only see your wife through her goof, yeah? You can only see your friend through their goof. You can't, what if their goof isn't there? Like there's neshamas everywhere. Do we don't know about you don't you need a corridor to the palace. You can't experience the palace without the corridor. You can't experience the person without the clothing. So I don't know what it means that you'll know him, but you'll know him and that you couldn't have that in the higher worlds. You couldn't have that in the higher worlds. That if there was that revelation of him himself, the higher worlds would just immediately collapse into themselves, and collapse into him, and be non-existent. So that's so let's keep going on, make a little more sense in a moment. ולזה נוסף הקדוש ברוך הוא לישראל es haTorah, שנקרא oiz v'koyach, that he gave us for this purpose, this explicit, this express purpose is what the Torah is. The Torah is, so to speak, the filter through which we can experience the essence of God through his Ratzon. And we're going to see what that is. That's the mitzvahs. The mitzvahs is he wants mitzvahs to fill in. That is his essence being expressed through the physicality of this world. And therefore we can actually touch that and do something with it. So when you do the mitzvah of tefillin, yeah, really what's happening is you dissolve into the mitzvah. And the mitzvah is his Ratzon, and his Ratzon is him. So that's him. That's the essence of who he is. His Ratzon is the first Gilui of who he actually is, of his essence. Like your wives, like your wife's the first Gilui of your wife's essence is her desire to live. So the first Gilui of Hashem's essence is his desire for mitzvahs. Um, and that's what the Torah is. The Torah acts, that's why it's called Oiz v'koyach. Yeah, it's the strength and the energy, whatever, that will allow for that to happen. He'll explain it. Kumar Azar, as the sages say, Shakadosh Baruch Hu noisen koyach, but tzaddikim, he gave the tzaddikim koyach l'kabel scharim la'asid lavoy, to be makabel their schar in asid lavoy, which means shelo yizbatlu b'metzias mamash b'or Hashem hanigla la'asid, that they will not become completely nullified in the light of Hashem that will be revealed in the future. Bli shum levush, without any kind of concealment. Right now we can deal with it because there's a massive levush, there's a massive concealment. But the tzaddikim who have become godly, yeah, they will be able to. I don't know if the right word is to experience. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. I don't know what it means. I'm just talking. I don't know what this means. You have a lot. You kind of oid moirecha, and you won't like need your like you won't hide from your. So your teacher will not hide from you any longer. Perish. Shelo yiskase mimacha b'knaf v'levush, meaning that Hashem will not hide from you with a kind of like the edge of a garment or with any kind of garment. V'hayu einecha royes es moirecha, and your eyes will see your teacher. Ksiv, ki ayin ba'ayin yiru, that you will see eye to eye. V'chulei. Uksiv loy. Lo yiyeh lecha oid hashemesh le'or yoimal. It will not be that the light will be for you, the light of the sun will be for you any longer than the light of the day. Ki Hashem yiyeh lecha le'or olam. Hashem will light up the day. He will be the eternal light. Again, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know if that's an experience. I don't know if it's beyond experience. I don't know what it is, but those are the words. That Bekitza, there will be some gilui of the essence of the Rebbeinu Sholem, B'asid Lavoi, that you will see with your eyes, whatever that means. And that's kind of what we're looking forward to, but we're not really looking forward to that. What we're really looking forward to is Kriya Shema when I go to shul in another few minutes. Yeah, or the fact that we're sitting here talking Torah. That's really what we look forward to as Jews, is being involved in Avodas Hashem. That's it. We let him bring Mashiach, Asad Lavoy, Tchias Amesim, yeah, and all that kind of stuff. That's what he wants, and that gives us a tremendous simcha because that's what he wants. But we right now, the question is always, how can I turn this moment into mitzvah? How can I transform my space, time, energy, and matter right now into mitzvah? That's what we're looking for. We should be scratching our head every single minute of the day. How now can I bring the Rebbeinu Shalom to his world? Because that's what he wants. That's much what he wants. The Gilui is going to be for us and for all that kind of stuff. I don't know what that all means. Yeah, but right now, the Avodah is Torah mitzvahs. And that is amazing. That really is amazing. That we can be part of this. We can be part of this in a real, meaningful way. Is just amazing. Really amazing. Okay, we'll hold here. Shkoyach.